Hello everybody and welcome to an unboxing video of the Clarke 10-ton bench press. Now this has been very kindly sent to me by Machine Mart, so a huge thank you to them. And what I'm going to do in this video is unbox it and just do a very quick demonstration. I'm actually going to be using this quite a bit in my upcoming restoration videos, so you're going to see loads more of this in the very near future. So it's the model number CSA 10BB. Now the link is down below for anybody who'd like to check this out, and also you can see that it comes with all of the instructions which you need to assemble this and operate it. This first box is very well wrapped up. The reason for this is because it is actually the pressure gauge, which will show you how many tons of force are being applied to whatever it is you're using the press on. Next up we have the plates. This is what you would tend to put your piece of work onto when you are using the press. So you have two of those. We then have the main beam. This is what you would, again, place your piece of work onto, and you would use those two plates. These are the pins which you would actually sit the beam onto, and there are 4 clips as well to keep this in place so they don't move out of the way. Next up we have the ram, the hydraulic ram, and I'm going to put some information up on the screen from the website. Some technical information, and I'll be showing this being fitted in a minute or two. We have the 2 feet supports, the pump handle. Here's a close-up of the grip. We then have the pump which fits to the side of the press, and then the hose runs to the ram on the top. And finally we have the main frame itself, and although it looks small, this is all very heavy. It's about 52 kilograms in total. Now I actually do have a much cheaper press as well, and I can already see that the materials used here are much heavier, much higher quality. Okay, so everything's been unboxed, let's now put it together. First of all, we have the 2 feet supports which are going to sit either side at the bottom to essentially support the press. So it's going to prevent it from tipping over and also keep it nice and stable anyway when you're pressing. We then have the hydraulic ram which slides down from the top, and then you can lock it in place. The pressure gauge will be fitted in a minute, but first of all what I'm going to do is actually put the hand pump on the side. So we'll get that all piped up. Now according to the instructions you can put it on either side, but I've just decided to put it on the recommended side, which is on the right. Now you'll probably notice here I've actually put some PTFE tape on the thread. This is recommended in the instruction manual, very important because you could have leaks otherwise. Okay, so that's that pipe all attached. So the pump is attached to the ram. Now we need to put the pressure gauge in the top. Likewise, the pressure gauge does actually have the thread, so it's best to put PTFE tape on here as well. We also have this big bolt for shipping, essentially, I think, just to protect everything and keep the oil in. And then the pressure gauge can quite simply thread into there. The instructions do mention checking in here, the bleed valve, to see if you can see the oil, to make sure the oil is at a good enough level, and mine is, so we can now continue. So the next thing is to put the support beam in, or the beam in, the pressing beam, and this is very simple because it's actually designed to be moved around anyway. We do have 3 set heights, so we essentially just put the rods in, and then the beam will sit in there, quite simply, and you also do have the clips as well, to prevent the pins from moving. Okay, so we now have a working press. I must just say that the instructions do tell you to bleed the air out, which is what I did. And it did take a little while, it took 10 minutes or so just to do that, so it does take a bit of time to make sure everything's working as it should be. But as you can see, everything is now working very well. And once you're ready to retract the ram, all you have to do is turn the release valve and it will go up. Okay, so just a very quick test to make sure everything is working as it should be. I have here a spindle out of a ride-on mower, and I'm just going to basically try and press the shaft through. Usually they do rust in place. So to do this, I'm just going to set this to the optimal height. I can then fit it into the press nice and securely. And then quite simply, all I have to do is just pump the lever, the handle, and it should press it through. Now these usually are quite stuck, so they can sometimes go with a bit of a bang. Well, that worked very well. And this is actually what I'm going to be using it for mainly, pressing shafts through and also pushing out any old bearings, ones which can get very stuck. So yeah, it's just so nice to have the 10-ton bench press. I'm just going to press the other one out, and you should just about see it register on the dial here. It really doesn't take much pressure. Okay, so I know that it's definitely not going to be able to press this out, because I know that even a 20-ton press won't be able to press this out. I have tried before, but it's just really to show you how the pressure gauge is working. So it just gives you a fantastic view of what kind of force you are applying. So that's that pressing down, and you can see it's now registering how many tons we're applying to it. And because the handle is on the right hand side, it does make it a little bit more tricky for me because I'm left-handed, but I do find that's going to be a better place for when I've got it on the bench, so that's why I'm going to have it there. And there you go, you can see we're now applying almost 4 tons. But even if it was, like I say, 20 tons, it wouldn't press this out, it's very stuck. And then we're just going to retract the ram. So yeah, I think it does seem to be a very well built press, and as I've already said, we're going to see this a lot in upcoming projects. It's going to feature in probably every project because nearly everything has bearings and there's always a bearing to change. Obviously it has other uses too, but there we go, the 10-ton Clarke bench press, very kindly sent to me by Machine Mart. Thanks for watching everybody, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.